Reports a deal will hike taxes on people making more than $400,000 a year. But if the House did not okay a plan to hike taxes on millionaires, how would this plan pass? We go now to Republican Congressman from Kansas, Tim Huelskamp. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. What's your take on where we stand now? The framework of the deal here, the talk at least today, was that this threshold was being lowered, tax hikes to families earning more than $450,000 a year. You didn't like $1 million in Plan B. What do you think of this new number?
Well, Lori, I'm still looking for any study or any person that says raising taxes is going to create jobs. We think this might impact 1 million small businesses paying more in taxes, but that's the position most Republicans. We don't want to raise taxes, but what I fear is a deal with no spending cuts, no entitlement reform, and raising taxes. Looks like three strikes you're out, and not a good deal, and certainly not a solution to our problems.
We've known for months now the Congressional Office, Budget Office, predicting that if we do go over the cliff, it will send the economy, the domestic economy, back into a recession. We are hearing now that the House will not vote on anything tonight because there's nothing to vote on. Despite all the work done today and over the weekend, nothing for the House to vote on, which begs the question, if we go over the cliff, which it appears likely here, with New Year's Eve ball dropping just hours away, what next?
Well, it looks like the IRS has postponed the withholding tables, so we have a few more days, but the Senate hasn't passed a budget in 1,341 days, and I didn't expect them to work very quickly today, but hopefully they'll put something out, but actually include spending cuts, because that's the problem here. And not only do we have the fiscal cliff, we have the debt ceiling that we're going to push through, and blowing through an enormous amount of spending since the last debt deal, and again, that remains the problem, and any deal that ignores spending is no real solution, actually just punts and makes it more difficult down the road.
How will you get leverage by negotiating around the debt ceiling? Because as you know, it's the second time in, 2 years that we've blown past the debt ceiling, yet no one seems to care. There's no leverage there. There's no footing.
Well, the bad debt deal 17 months ago created much of the situation today, and in a couple months we'll face that again. But I certainly hope, I think the last thing Republicans want to do is have anything around the debt ceiling inside this potential deal. But again, we don't have any details. We'll hopefully hear those in the next couple hours, get some final details out to us. But again, it looks like 3 strikes going the wrong direction, and that's frankly what most of my constituents feared Washington would do, is ignore the real problems and say they've solved it and go home for the New Year's, and that again, that does not solve the spending problem here in our nation's capital.
All right, Congressman, we appreciate your take. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.